So I am here to season this monster, and what this is a 3-pound tomahawk steak. We got this from Costco, and it's a USDA prime cut for only $16.99 a pound. That's an amazing price. And so what I don't want to do is put a whole bunch of different spices on it to cover up the flavor of the meat. I want the meat to come through. So all I'm going to use is a little bit of salt. And I'll end up putting a little bit more on there later. Some coarse ground pepper. And a little bit of garlic powder. And I'm going to get some olive oil to drizzle on that. And this is going to sit here for another probably 20 minutes. It's already sat out for about 40 minutes because you want your meat to come to room temperature before you start cooking it. You don't want it to be just out of the refrigerator. So, I love my stove. It has a griddle, and then flips it over. There's like a ridged grill, but I'm going to use the flat side. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil, and I'm using extra light olive oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you like. I also like to do a combination of a little bit of butter as well, because that tells me actually when the oil is ready, when the butter starts browning. So when you're testing your grill or your griddle or whatever, see, it's still not there because it's still foamy and white. It needs to turn brown before you know it's ready. And you want it to be hot because you want to sear. And the purpose of searing is to make sure you lock in the juices of the meat. It basically forms a crust on the meat. Now, there's a bunch of recipes out there about how to do this, and there's a lot of reverse searing, which means that you do it at a low temperature in the oven or sous vide to get it to where it's already at temperature in the center, and then you take it out of the oven or sous vide and then you sear it. But you know, I'm old school, 30 years in a restaurant experience. This is how we do it. So I'm going to put it on here. You want to hear that sizzle. If you don't hear that sizzle, it ain't ready. All right, so I seasoned the other side. I also seasoned the sides of it. So now I'm going to season this side. And I'm going to let it sear. I'm going to sear it on all sides. And when I finish, when it gets a good enough crust, I'm going to put it on here, which is a lined baking sheet with foil and a rack. That way you've got airflow underneath it. You can do it without the rack, but you know, you want it to be browned all the way around. So this is where I'm at with this. And I'm using the towel because it's heavy. So it's been on here for about 7 or 8 minutes. I'm going to flip it and get the other side. And you see it's sizzling and it's crusty. That's what you want. So you want the other side just as sizzling and crusty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over on its side and get this fat cap to sizzle that. I'm searing it on the side. I'm going to bring it up so I get the top part of it. You want to make sure it's all seared so that you don't lose any juices when you start roasting it. That's the whole point of searing. Okay, so it's time. It's all seared on all sides. I'm going to bring it to the rack. Turn this down. And I'm going to use a thermometer. Normally, when I'm cooking steaks, I can just do the feel it and determine whether it's medium rare or well. But this is too big, so I'm going to use a thermometer. So I'm going to turn this. I want it to get to 135 degrees because that is medium rare. But I'm going to go it to 131 because even when you take it out it is going to continue to cook. And I don't want it to get over 135. So I'm going to do it at 131, even though I want the temperature to be 135. All right, so where you stick the thermometer is really important. You want to make sure that you don't have any bone touching it. So I'm going to go in from here and go straight in here. And go straight. Make sure I don't get to the center. Maybe a little bit too much. All right. So it is 81 degrees right now. So I need to get to 131. All right, let's put it in the oven. It's at 375 degrees, so kind of low temperature. You don't want it to cook on high, because any higher than that, because then the outside is going to get more done and your interior doesn't come up to temperature. So it got to temperature at 131. I'm going to let it sit here. It's got to rest for at least 10 minutes before I cut into it. And during this time, the temperature is actually going to go up. So that's perfect, because I'll use that time to saute my mushrooms and my asparagus on the same grill that I seared this on. The grill is pretty hot. It's out here. I've also got some baked potato and baked sweet potato. My husband likes sweet potato, and I just wanted a regular potato today, so I got both. And I'm doing those in the toaster oven. I have another big oven, but you know, summertime, it's too hot to have all these ovens on. So I'm just gonna let these cook, saute a little bit, just put a little bit of seasoning on there, and I'll do that while the steak is resting. Because I've never cooked this before, so I have no idea actually what I'm doing in terms of how to carve it. But I looked at some videos, and you're supposed to take it off the bone. And oh, that's beautiful. All right, so take it off the bone, and then there's several parts. So one is the cap, so you're supposed to separate that. All right. And then there's a little tail, you separate that. And then we have this. It's a little bit more cooked than I want, even though I took it out early, but you know, it's not bad. Then there's this part, and I believe if I do this, I'm supposed to cut it like this. So, it's on here, like this. The bone is here, and then this part, the cap is here, and then that's how you serve it.